Hey, it's Sean and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and we have a smash beer. We do these things all the time. What we do is we take one single malt and one single hop variety, we brew a beer, and then we talk about it. Mostly it's about the hop variety we want to learn more about. So if you're looking to learn more about Taiheke hops from New Zealand, a New Zealand variety, this is the video that you want to be watching right now. So, all of my smash beers that I brew for this particular series are 1 gallon in size, batch size that is. I take 2 gallons of water, 2 pounds of malt, the one malt variety, Great Western Pale Malt, that's what I have. That's the latest one I'm using. And then I take 2 ounces or 28 grams of the particular hop I'm using, and I usually use this schedule. I add it in with 15 minutes to go in the boil. Then that's about like a 7 gram addition, and then it's 14 grams right at flame out, and then I save 7 grams for dry hopping. I know my friend Mike doesn't like putting any hops in the fermenter, but we're gonna get through that.
I only do it when I'm in my oxygen-free room.
You get your get your mask on and all that stuff. So 28 grams, 7 grams at 50 minutes to go in the boil, 14 grams at flame out, and then 7 grams to be added during fermentation, day 3 of fermentation. That's when I add it in, and that's my dry hop addition. And then I ferment for 10 days at 68 degrees F or 20 degrees C for typically 10 days.
Yep.
And then what I do is I keg it, and this actually has been in the keg for a little bit longer. Usually I get these things done right before.
Usually the production schedule is oh my God.
It's in the keg on a Sunday. We're doing a little videoing on a Tuesday, and that's the 2 days is the carb factor. But this has been in there for a while, and I'm glad that it hasn't degraded all that much, I don't think, nor has the haziness dropped out. So it's pretty much like all the other beers that I've brewed. Anyway, so what we're really trying to get out of this beer is to understand the hop aromas, the hop flavors of this particular New Zealand hop, Taiheke. So funny story about this. I called up I called up Yakima Valley Hops. I just called them up and see who answered the phone. And I said, like, so I have a package of hops that I said,
hey, this is John. They're like, oh, really?
I didn't reveal who I was. I didn't say that I was like a partially famous YouTube star that talks about homebrew. So I just said, hey, I have this variety that I bought from you. I'm not sure what the pronunciation of the hops are. Do you know? The woman said, I'm still learning, but we believe it's
Who's naming these things?
Okay, it's from New Zealand. So
it's true.
It's from the native language of that island.
I'm being insensitive.
So I believe I looked up I did a translation. I believe it's like rapids, like river rapids. I could be wrong. Okay. People can like flame me. I don't know. I'm trying my best here. I'm actually taking, it's not a lot of effort, but some effort into trying to pronounce it right and learn more about the hop. So
awesome.
Anyway, I would like to now yield the floor to my friend Mike to talk more about what he's encountering with this particular beer.
I like the flavor quality, but it's not now this is what's going to happen. It's not screaming out to me something specific, but then you're going to tell me what the marketed descriptors are. I'm going to go, oh yeah, I taste that. So let me just say up front.
Say what you want.
I get like a black plum, maybe a blackberry type of flavor component to it. There's a subtly interesting sulfur note that I get in there that I think is coming from the hop. So they're trying to breed these with a higher thiol content because that's how you get biotransformation and stuff. So thiols are SH group, so that could very well be what I'm getting. Maybe incomplete biotransformation. But I do like it. The fruit quality is there. It's sort of like a non-distinct stone fruit to me. Peaches tend to actually be pretty sulfury. You don't really think of it because they're so sweet and whatever, but they tend to actually be a fairly sulfur-forward fruit.
You get to that pit, and it's that's where I get the sulfury.
I mean, at first I thought I got a little black grape. I mean, green grape, but it's really black plum and maybe a blackberry type of quality to it. Something in that berry category. There's maybe a hint of something more tropical, like I want to say coconut, but when I was smelling the pellets, my mind sort of picks out like almost like a cacao nib thing in the pellet, which could maybe is the coconut. I don't know. It's weird. So that's what I get. That's what I get.
See what you got. Okay.
Maybe a little lime leaf. Let me throw out 3 or 4 more descriptors just to lasso it in.
So when I tasted it before I came over, I got a little bit of like a sweet fruit.
Yep. It's definitely fruity.
And then lime leaf is what I was trying to like understand, like because it's not the pulp of the lime. It's almost like the rind of the lime, especially when you're in our beer drinking experiences. We're always we are given sometimes a lime wedge, and it's like. It's more of like what's the experience you have with the rind of the lime rather than the actual pulp of the fruit.
Like when you do the tequila shot and you pop that thing in your mouth and it's like, and you're like, oh, that's just a different flavor. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yeah. All right, here we go. So although this is from New Zealand, Taiheke have a very American lineage. They actually started off as a USDA 56013, which I'm sure you're very familiar with.
Yes.
It was crossed all the way back in 1956, but I'm sure this is was imported over to New Zealand, and it became what we know today. So these hops, the parentage of these hops, are very similar to Cascade hops.
Okay.
So English Fuggles, another hop variety you love, and a male derived from the Russian variety Serebryanka, which again, these are 2 hops are the parents of Cascade.
Yep.
Okay.
And a lot of those are just used strictly for breeding.
Yes, true that. Yep. So this became commercially available in 1972, and then it was sought for its bright aroma of grapefruit, lime, and sweet fruit.
Hey.
So there you go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cocoa nib, not so much, but like
but you know, I think
I was getting what you were getting.
The funny thing is, I think now when you said it, and of course I'm going to take liberty with it, when the Fuggles quality, right?
Yeah.
That earthy, dirty thing is that cocoa nib thing coming through that, right? You know. But to say that I don't dislike this, I actually really love this, and my mind is trying to think about. How would I insert this into a couple other... Basically, I would view this as a fruit amplifying hop, right? So if you really wanted to focus on, tangerine from your Amarillo or some of those weird orangey flavors from like a Zaka, obviously pairing this with Cascade would probably just amplify the Cascade. Take that grapefruit character and make it like a really juicy grapefruit character. I think this hop has the potential to really turn your fruit forward hops into juice forward hops.
Yeah, I think it's a nice foundation to build off from, right? Yeah. And it's like, because I was tasting this after reading, like I tasted it without knowing anything about it, right? And then I was like, all right, I should probably prep for the video. And so I looked it up and I was like,
5 or 6 beers later, you're like, well, I guess I should get ready.
As I do. So I read it and I was like, like I read the parentage first and I was like, is this just a New Zealand version of Cascade? Which, if you didn't tell me that, like I think some of the things you were saying before, you were like, nondescript, I think that's what we have come to describe.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's hops.
Yeah.
But it's not like anything like, it's not the...
It's a fruity hop.
Right. It's not...
Like when I hit these, I try to ask myself, okay, is it fruity? Is it floral? Is it herbal? Is it earthy? Like where in those 4 big categories of hop
Yep.
places
Yep.
are we going to end up? And right away you're like, okay, it could be fruity, it could be floral. And then you just take another second, you're like, all right, it's definitely fruit,
Yep.
right? And then it's just a function of going to yourself,
Which fruit
like when I
is it?
smell it, what do I see in my mind? And the first thing I got was like black plums.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what so I'm like, well, that's black plums.
Yeah, and blackberry.
And then the
all
more we dig in a little bit, you know, like if you get like super overripe blackberries, right? They sort of have that
yeah,
that
that's what you mean.
mushy, dank
Mushy.
flavor, right? Like a really
Yeah.
earthy, almost berry, but still fruity,
Yep.
type of thing. So, yeah, I'm actually just really digging this hop.
Yeah, it's good. So this is the 2020 pellets from Yakima Valley Hops, 8.6% alpha acids.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice strong
And
hop.
I don't know if you got anything off the pellets. Again, you're probably like, it smells like hop pellets.
Well, I mean, when I first sniffed it, I got a little bit of that. That's where I got that. Like, what is that? Like a coconut or cocoa? Like maybe let refine that to like maybe coconut husk thing. You know, which I'm going to say is that fuggle dirt quality sneaking in there.
So this is intro. I don't even know when I bought this, to be honest. Like I actually went back in my email to try to figure it out. This was not one of my purchases that I've done in the recent past. So maybe I even deleted the email. Usually I try to do a good job of like capturing that and like, oh, okay, I bought this. But certainly probably around the the 2020 harvest for the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's I just don't know where I picked it up. But anyway, one of the interesting hops to try out. Certainly, if you're looking to build, and I don't know, like I think that when I'm building my New England IPAs or like hop forward beers, I'm trying to like layer different flavors and aromas in there. And so this could be a good like foundational one. Like if you know that there's varieties that have strong, citrus flavor, like whatever you want to get into. Like, all right, I know this one's like strong stone fruit, and this one's like strong pineapple, and I want to like blend those together. This could be what sits underneath.
Yeah, I mean, the more I drink this, I just think to myself, like this could standalone on its own could make a great summer beer.
Yep.
In my mind, like a 50-50 pale malt wheat grist with a truckload of this, and then like an American wheat ale yeast, or for that matter, I almost wonder if like a Belgian wheat strain would really do some funky stuff with this and make it would be super interesting. Because you make a Belgian wheat, you might add coriander, you might add a little lemon peel or something to that, but just using this hop on its own in that environment might make a really killer 4.5% ABV summer drinker.
Yep.
Like killer.
Yep. So US05, of course, for all my smash beers. So clean American yeast strain. So it could be something we experiment with. Anyway, hope you dug this video. Hope you learned a little bit more about this hop variety. I haven't seen it around too much. Certainly Yakima Valley had it. And when I called them up, they were still getting to know it themselves. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you dig this kind of content, subscribe to our channel because we do this kind of thing every single week.
Every week.
Oh boy. It's quantity over quality.
It is.
For John and Mike, brew-news.com, brew on.
Cheers.